The horizontal hive, so I have 3 screen bottoms.
Uh-huh.
And I took the middle board out yesterday because I was getting so much moisture.
That's a good idea.
I started getting mold, but I'm worried, is it too cold?
Well, if you're talking bottom, heat
Yeah,
goes
bottom.
up, not down.
Okay.
So you should be in good shape.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
because
yeah.
I was getting mildew and I'm at like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, the deal with moisture, and Greg can attest to this, because his environment's pretty moist. It's like moisture year-round at the coast. Astoria.
Okay. I'm in Vernonia, so we're kind of in a little...
I know, yeah. I know right where you're talking. So if you're in a low, damp area, then the airflow becomes important. And like with the Vivaldi, it's got a 2-inch hole, 2.5-inch hole actually, right in the middle.
Yeah.
And the bees they'll propolize that hole down, or they'll tear it open. But on the ends of that Vivaldi box, there's 2 screens that are 3/4 of an inch tall that go almost all the way across the front and the back. And the the telescoping cover goes over those screens. There's a gap, so the air can flow out of those and get out.
Okay.
But the bees will regulate the airflow by opening and closing that opening.
Okay.
And
I did a gabled roof, so I have space to put a Vivaldi box inside the hive in the winter to absorb. But I didn't do anything like that yet because it's not.
The absorbing material is necessary if the airflow is too slow, because the moisture is going to, the more moisture is going to come out, it's going to hit that cold surface and condense.
Yeah.
If you have something in there for it to collect onto, but what I found is if I regulate that vent,
I have vents at both ends of the roof.
Yeah.
And then the holes in the top cover.
You let that airflow be gradual. What I find is the absorbent material, I use burlap or a mesh bag with chips in it. The material right next to the colony is dry. The material up above, closer to the lid, is more moist. It's condensing up there. But it stays that way all winter long, and the whole thing doesn't get wet and soggy when everything is in the right balance.
Okay.
It keeps moving enough warm that enough of that condensation, water vapor gets out of there. But if you open it up and it's a soggy mess.
Well, I'm getting mildew on the inside of my inner cover.
Yeah, that will happen. It's probably not warm enough.
Okay.
So you might want to insulate above that. Is that what you found?
I think insulation is very important, and ventilation, and I think more
Well,
ventilation than less.
Yeah.
I put like 2-inch insulation in the roof, like built into the roof with the silver on the end.
Here, I got a ticket. Do you have access to a little thermometer, like a little recording thermometer? Stick it inside, in between your inner cover and that, and see what the temperature is.
Okay.
You know, put a little stick in there and put it up close to the insulation on top. See what the temperature is up there, and then put it down closer to the inner cover and see what it is.
Okay.
You got a temperature gradient in there, and where you go from warm to cold, that's where the condensation is going to happen. And if you can push that up to where the vents are, then you're not going to get it down low on the inner cover.
Okay.
But you might want to insulate more on that inner cover, and that
So
way.
it's not really important what the temperature is. It's just where it starts shifting.
It's the gradient, yeah. It's where it'll condense.
Okay.
And that's why people say if you've got it condensing in the hive, then insulate so it can get out of the hive and condense outside of the hive.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a question. I found a big giant slug at the entrance of my bee the other day.
Yeah.
Throw it.
Look at the pollen.
I throw mine in the river.
So what do I do?
Cool. Dead nettle.
In the water.
Is that dead nettle?
Yeah, it's a reddish orange. Oh yeah, that's dead nettle. So they'll do that. I mean, I get slugs
Do
in
they
mine.
ever get into the hives?
Definitely.
The slugs?
Yeah, they'll get inside the hive.
Especially if you got a couple frames on one side that aren't occupied, they'll claw up on that side.
Yeah.
They'd love to get a hold of that pollen
So what do you
patty,
do?
I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Does a bee kill them? Do the bees kill them?
Well, they'll probably antagonize them a little bit. I mean, if you got a big old banana slug, you know,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to put a legion on them.
Yeah.
You know, and you deal with the slime. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Is there any way to prevent that?
Yeah,
or
put a little bowl
copper?
of salt around
Oh,
your.
salt. Okay.
Yeah.
Or keep the grass cut down lower because
yeah.
slugs love the grass.
Yeah.
too.
Any place that they can hide
Yeah.
close to your hive. Yeah.
I have ducks.
Oh,
Ducks
just
3 ducks.
Yeah, just leave a couple ducks in your apiary. They'll eat every slug you got.
They go elsewhere. They don't go there.
Oh.
I also found earwigs in my
Yeah,
beehives.
you'll find that. But once again, Greg is pointing to an important thing. If you keep the area around the hive free of debris and hiding places, you'll get
Yeah.
less critters in it. And that's a big deal. Like mice are the same way. If the mice have got to get out in the open to get to your colony, they're going to get picked off by a cat or an owl or something.
I
So.
popped the top about 3 weeks ago and had a mouse and her baby, and it was extra equipment that I had sitting there so that I could take and move stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you're getting out of here
You're
today.
done.
Someone wants your attention. So anyway, so
Should
that's,
Should
there
we
you
go
go.
through this next hive now? Because I think we'll find some more interesting. Okay. Oh, first of all, we were concerned about the dead ones in front. What is your diagnosis now about why there are all these dead bees in front?
Well,
And I noticed there was a lot on the screen inside
Yeah.
too that hadn't been moved out yet.
bees die.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah. This is a swarm.
No,
This
you.
is a swarm. So these bees are from last year.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
are the winter bees. They are 10 months old, some of them.
Yeah.
So they have worked really
Yeah.
hard to get this
They're-
swarm going, and they worked themselves to death.
Their last-
That's my diagnosis.
Their last
They're
hurrah.
not disease.
Their last hurrah is to rear the next batch of brood.
I didn't
And-
think bees would live 10 months.
Yeah, they do.
Winter
If they're
bees.
not
Yeah,
flying.
winter bees. In some climates, they will survive a full 10 months. They have really short summers. So yeah,
Some of these are from October.
yeah. In our neck of the woods, winter bees are beginning to be reared in August. Okay, and we know that from OSU. They've marked them and traced that. So when you figure August, September, October, November, January, February, March, April,
This stuff's all fresh. I wanted a
8 months
beautiful
right there.
grass pad.
Okay, at higher elevations, more extremes, a couple more months easily. Okay, so observations on this guy, a lot more activity obviously because
Okay,
this
so-
was a swarm.
Do you want to come around?